Trump walks back war rhetoric as Chicago braces for ICE raids and possible guard roll. All right. So this was published a day ago. 232 articles reporting. You've got 46% of the reporting is coming from the center, 32% from the left, 22% from the right. So more of a blind spot for the right than the left, but you still have fairly even reporting on it. At least it's not like swaying a huge direction one way or the other. 87% of the sources are high factuality or above. 8% are independent news sources. The story was broke by OPP, Oregon Public Broadcasting. How about that? On Saturday, September 6th. So the story that I have pulled up, though, is from Politico. And if we look down, sorted by factuality, man, it's down here a ways, I guess. Anyway. Do I have it sorted one way or the other? I don't know. Anyway, let's just get into the story here. So, Illinois Democrats sharply criticized President Donald Trump on Saturday, who suggested in a Truth Social post earlier in the morning that his administration will go to war with the city of Chicago. Trump on Saturday posted a likely artificial intelligence-generated meme on his social media platform depicting himself as an officer in the 1979 war movie Apocalypse Now with the caption, Chipocalypse Now. Chicago's about to find out why it's called the Department of War, the post read, accompanied by 3 helicopter emojis, along the president's most aggressive language targeting an American city. Spoken like a true tyrant, Representative Mike Quigley, who represents the north side of Chicago, told Politico at the city's Mexican Independence Day parade Saturday in response to the post. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, who's become one of the leading Democrat critics of the president and the Trump's second term, wrote on X that Trump is threatening to go to war with an American city, adding that Illinois won't be intimidated by a wannabe dictator. This is not a joke, Pritzker wrote. This is not normal. Trump's hostile stance on Saturday comes as he ramps up tension between the Democratic-controlled cities and an immigration crackdown. He has deployed the National Guard to both Los Angeles and Washington, a practice he would like to expand in other cities such as Chicago. The president's threats are beneath the honor of our nation, but the reality is that he wants to occupy our city and break our Constitution, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson wrote on X. The administration has faced legal pushback on the use of the National Guard troops in both California and Washington, D.C. A federal district judge earlier this week ruled the deployment to Los Angeles likely violated the Posse Comitatus Act, which prohibits the use of military force for domestic law enforcement without proper authority. D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwab filed a similar lawsuit against the administration Thursday, adding that it infringes on the nation's capital's sovereignty. On Tuesday, Trump said, "We're going into Chicago," but did not provide a clear timeline or rationale for the legality of the action. Chicago's a hellhole right now, the president added, but the next day he suggested that New Orleans may be the next target of the administration, not Chicago, a Democratic-run city whose Republican governor has welcomed federal action. Trump has repeatedly said that he would like to have the state's governor's permission before entering the cities. "I love the smell of deportations in the morning," Trump wrote in the Saturday social media post, recanting the movie's "I love the smell of napalm in the morning" quote from lead Robert Duvall. Robert Duvall wasn't the lead. He was actually he had kind of a small cameo in that movie, but whatever. Good job, Politico, you're close. Don't expect you guys to, The administration has painted its encroachment into cities as a crackdown on crime in the cities. But Saturday's post from the president indicates that their force may largely be on ICE raids and deportations. The state and local officials have also been bracing for a surge in immigration enforcement agents to descend on Chicago and its suburbs. Senator Dick Durbin, also at Saturday's parade in Chicago's Pilsen neighborhood, told Politico that Trump is so irresponsible that to what he says and so reckless that you never know. He'll change the story in the next 30 minutes, which is absolutely true. That's what he does. When asked if the post was a declaration of war against the city, Representative Chuy Garcia told Politico that we've seen it as a declaration of war against the Mexican community, against the immigrant community. 8 people were killed and over 50 people were wounded last weekend in Chicago, but local Democrat leaders are more upset about a post from the president, White House spokesperson Abigail Johnson said in a statement in response to Democrat criticism. That tells you everything you need to know about the Democrats' twisted priorities and why Chicago has become the most murderous of any U.S. city for 13 consecutive years. City and state politicians have decried Trump's threats towards Illinois. They argue that Trump is not actually concerned with violent crimes in cities, pointing to statistics that show Chicago and other major cities are seeing a decline in crime, and instead say the president wants to score political points. I take it very seriously that he's instilling fear in the hearts of a lot of people, Durbin, who is retiring at the end of his retiring at the end of his term next year, added. This is his intention, and it's working. It's absolutely right. Got to agree with Dick Durbin there. I don't necessarily like, agreeing with geriatric politicians, but sometimes they're right. You got to give it to them anyway. Anyway. Hey, thanks for checking out this video from Nightly News this morning. If you wouldn't mind, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video or when we go live on Tuesdays and Fridays.